Chapter 20, page 165. Standing on the front porch of her house, he nervously shoves his hands in his pockets, pulls them out again. Too casual. Wouldn't want her mother to get the wrong impression. He takes a quick glance at his watch. 8:30. He is right on time. Her mother is strict, she says. Maybe she has a rule about her not being out after midnight. He hopes so. A series of 5-minute telephone calls over a 2-week period does not establish much precedent for the evening that now stretches lengthily ahead. Too long between the asking and the actual event, like having to think in advance about going to the dentist. But she had been busy that first Saturday, and Friday nights she works. What is the problem? No problem. He's in great shape for this event. He has just been cut down to once a week by his analyst. He finds on waking each morning no terrible urgency to escape his thoughts. They are harmless. They concern a report he has to write, a section of tenor melody he is learning, small goals to purify his days. Berger yesterday had leaned lecherously at him over a sugar donut. Psychiatry has its advantages. I expect to hear all about it on Tuesday. He had laughed. Yeah, well, I didn't hear all about how it went with my father, did I? I've told you before, kiddo. I'm the doctor, you're the patient. Sooner or later, all you cats start pulling out of line. What did he want, anyway? He wanted, Berger said, the name of a good allergist. Listen, you want me to tell you what he wanted? He had thought it over briefly, decided he didn't want that after all. Respect for privacy was what he wanted. He had let it drop. And now he is on a Tuesday-only schedule. Gee, Coach, I hope I make it, he had said on his way out the door. Berger had sighed. And I just ordered a couch. How am I going to pay for it? With the start, he realizes he has forgotten to ring the doorbell. Nice beginning, Jarrett. He rings the bell. He rings, and the door is opened seconds later by a pleasant-faced woman with red hair, a wide smile. Her eyes are on a level with his. She is much taller than Janine. Hi, come on in. You're Conrad, right? I'm Jen's mother. She ushers him into a small, tidy living room where a small boy sits, cross-legged on the couch, watching television. Mike, this is a friend of Jen's. Conrad. She looks at him. Jarrett, he supplies. Hi, Mike. Hi. The eyes do not move from the screen. Sit down. Jen just got home from work. They asked her to stay late tonight. Let's see now. You're new here, aren't you? Me? No. You mean to the city? No, we've lived here about 10 years. Oh, she is puzzled. Aren't you the one that works at the music store in Lake Bluff? No, he smiles. Well then, did she meet you at the Evanston Symphony concert? He shakes his head, wishing he could help her. How many are there anyway? I go to Lake Forest, he says. I gave her a ride home from school once. Oh, you're the tenor, she says. I can't hear the TV, Mike says. You guys are talking too loud. Relieved that she has nailed him down at last, she feels free to go on with the more serious motherly questions. Where does he live? What does his father do? Is that criminal, civil, or criminal? What grade is he in? A junior? And he's how old? 18? He endures them in an agonizing fit of nervousness. He couldn't even think of the words tax attorney. Almost forgot the name of his own street. As for his age, let her think he is stupid. It is infinitely preferable to whatever else she might discover about him. He gazes about the room, plants everywhere, on tables, in the windows, in corners. One of them, a tall, slender tree, supports huge fantail leaves and is nearly touching the ceiling. You must like plants, he says. Oh, brilliant, Jarrett, brilliant. She laughs. Well, they make nice pets. They don't bark or jump on you and tear your stockings. She jumps up herself. I'll just hurry her along. He is left with a small boy who sits scratching his leg, glancing over at him appraisingly. He is blond and thin. His voice is a low rasp. I'm going to take guitar lessons. Are you? Good, Conrad says politely. But I might take karate instead. 10 lessons for $4 after school at the community house. Sounds great. He goes back to the TV, chewing a corner of his lip. The room is warm. Conrad takes off his jacket, holds it across his knees. I'll probably have to take the karate, Mike says, because I don't got a guitar. You got a karate? Conrad asks. Huh? He laughs. Nothing, just a dumb joke. What's your name? Conrad. You look just like the guy who was here last Saturday. Yeah, what was his name? I forget. There's too many. Janine appears in the doorway. Behind her, from the end of the hall, the command is issued. Don't be late. I won't. She grabs her coat from the closet on their way out. Settled beside him in the car, she sighs. I heard her grilling you. I'm sorry. I tried to hurry. That's okay. They drive in silence for a few minutes. I'd better warn you now, she says. I'm a horrible bowler. That's okay. Well, it's not really. You haven't seen me. Look, we don't have to go bowling if you'd rather not. She glances quickly at him. No, I'll go if you want. What would you rather do? She shrugs. Do you want to go out at all? He asks. Do you? I asked you, didn't I? You didn't talk to me all week in choir. I thought you might have changed your mind. I haven't changed my mind, he says. Have you? Abruptly she laughs. This is dumb. I haven't changed my mind. I want to go, but I just hate to go and do something that'll make me look silly. You won't look silly, he promises her. I'm a great teacher. You'll look like you belong to a league in 20 minutes, okay? Okay. And it is all right after that. She is right. She's a lousy bowler, but a good listener, a quick learner. He gives her all the tips he can, and she absorbs them easily, trying very hard. And besides, she looks terrific up there, no matter what happens to the ball. He notices that she is wearing the blue skirt, the one she wore the first day he saw her at school. And he notices how she sits with her legs tucked back, half on the seat, her hair a smooth river of silk. You were a natural, he tells her across the table at McDonald's afterward. Oh, sure, I'm also a Gemini, so be careful. Why? Because we are two-faced and unpredictable. And what are you? January 10th. Capricorn. Good, that's a good sign. Is it? Sure. Dutiful, responsible, serious, capable, boring. She grins. Late bloomers. He laughs. For sure. He looks around at the people, begins to play an old game. Instant history. See that guy there? Divorced. That's his daughter with him. He gets to see her once a week. He'd like to take her somewhere fancy. Diana's, the red carpet. She only likes McDonald's. Every week they come here for dinner. Uh-huh, that's not her daddy. Janine says, sugar daddy, maybe. Okay, my turn. There's a couple. It's their first date. She's afraid of getting fat, so she just has a burger, no roll, and a cup of coffee. But he's not, so he has 2 Big Macs. She rolls her eyes. What a pig. And he's been dying to ask her out. For months he put it off. Finally he got up the nerve. He called her on the phone and said, Say, I was wondering. She giggles. Oh, all right, he mimics her soft soprano. And what did she say? Who, me? On a date? With you? Well, I was shocked, she says. You took long enough. I thought it was pretty swift. September to February is swift? On the way home, he allows his hand to slide across the seat, encounter hers, and hold it lightly while she talks about her parents' divorce, about her father, who lives in Akron and manages a department store, about her mother, who is a nurse at a small private hospital in Glenview. My uncle is on the staff there, she says. He helped her to get the job. That's why we came here. And there were some other reasons, too, but she does not elaborate. They pass the library on the way to her house. It sits, hunched, waiting for him. So many things he does not know. His body, under touch from all stimulation tonight, leans toward it, yearning. In front of her house, they talk some more, and he smooths his palm around and around the steering wheel, staring out at the streetlight, diffusing the yellow bloom of its rays through the windshield. Well, what'd you think, he asks. Did this work out okay? You want to try it again? Sure. So they sat up the following Saturday night, a return engagement, and as casually as the earth one day spun itself loose from the sun and off into a whirling space, he kisses her, his hands on her shoulders, her mouth under his, cool and firm, and an unexpected sensation then, causing his groin to swell with warmth, her hand at the back of his neck. Marvelous accident. Did he discover her in her blue skirt that day last September in Lazenby's car? If so, Berger is right. The body doesn't lie. He says against her cheek, I'll call you tomorrow, okay? Okay, she whispers. Her breath is warm against his ear. 2 phone calls in 1 week. You are swifter than I thought.